there is power in the vibration of sound, and there's power in the intention behind the things that you speak, the things that you think, the things that you sing.
I'm Mira Kaddoura, and this is Into Healing, Austin Edition. On this episode of Into Healing, we sit with Tenci Campbell, holistic artist, coach, and founder of Ufulu Child that helps families break cycles and reconnect with their bodies and purpose. After helping her own mother reverse chronic illness naturally, Tenci reminds us, play is sacred and joy can bring us home. If you support our mission of giving everyone a way into healing, please consider becoming a paying member through our Patreon. Your generosity will help bring more meaningful conversations to the world. Hi, Tenci.
Good day, love.
How are you?
Doing great.
It's so nice to have you here. I have to tell a little bit of the story of how I met you because we were at a community event.
Yes.
And you sang.
Oh, yeah.
And my daughter said, Mama, wow, how does she know how to do that? And I said, let's go find out. And we came up to you and we asked you, like, how you know how to sing like that? Because it was just so powerful. Your voice is just so magical and powerful. So I just want you to know how much it deeply touched me and my daughters. So here we are. That's how this whole thing began.
I'm glad you did. Blessings.
So I want to start kind of at the beginning. You and your husband Soul started Ufulu Child, and that was inspired from your mama's healing journey.
So, Ufulu Child, we started out before everything was happening with my mom. We met, and then a few weeks later, he kept reaching out because I was like,
because you're a magical being.
I wasn't going to say that. But because I was like, we just met. I don't know if you're crazy. Okay. But we started out making music. And so we were like, okay, we need to find a cool name for our band. And we wanted to be something that really symbolized our core values. And we were like, okay, well, there's truth, there's freedom, and we're like, freedom, yeah. Okay, well, we came up with different names for it, but Ufulu is actually a word that is the Bantu family of languages in the southern region of Africa, and it means freedom. So Ufulu Child started out with music. Freedom Child, yeah.
Beautiful.
And shortly after that was when my mom got the news and everything the focus began to shift.
So tell us how, starting this and your mama's healing journey kind of tapped you back into your ancestral practices.
I come from a very rootsy at heart Jamaican household, and in Houston, Texas. And so my mom, she's like, well, both my parents are very grounded in their understanding of spirit and spirituality, and my mom specifically, she is very rooted in her connection with ancestral energy in her own way, and she's like the original freedom seeker in our family. And so in her healing journey, it was really cool because one of the things that she would do is the surface level kind of phrasing that I'm thinking is kind of like limiting belief transformation, kind of like rewiring her mind. But she she's very anti anything that's like this fixed thing someone else teaches you from the outside. You got to find it for yourself. So she would every day, whether she's going through like a treatment or something, or like the very beginning stages, she had surgery and she went through radiation treatments, and then we really like, okay, well, we got to heal from all that too. And she would do this chant, and she would sing to her body, and she would sing to her cells, and she would sing to the trueness of her spirit, the health that is there, and call that into being. And so in her healing journey, it was more than just like the stuff that we came across, because we were like, we on a budget, okay? These surgeries are expensive. So we really were so blessed. It was like perfect timing to looking back, because the person that I met a few weeks before, my husband, he's the one that told us to look up this herbalist, this healer. So we dove in and we're like looking at all these different
And you
YouTube videos.
didn't know him before that.
No idea. Like in my family, even though my family was very, spiritual and kind of outside the box in terms of like looking at the quirky side of things, and we had this thing in our family where if you got sick, my mom's gonna make you this tea, you're gonna drink this tea and take a nap, maybe have some juice, you'll be better. And we never dealt with cancer, so we didn't know what herbs, what it took in terms of a lifestyle shift. And even after watching the videos, it still was like, okay, you hear these success stories, you hear all this stuff, but then there has to be a moment. And I'm so glad that my mom had the courage to acknowledge and to take that moment for herself, like a moment of claiming the health, claiming that you will be whole, and you already are, and commanding that into being, commanding that into your life. Through song, through just every little moment is now sacred, and I'm now stepping into this fullness now. It's decided. There's no other options. Like that level of certainty, like she decided. And that rippled out into the shifts in nutrition and cleansing and fasting and intentional movement and like all the different facets of what it took for her to heal. But it couldn't be done without that first.
I'm whole.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah. She went through a whole lot. Like, honestly, her journey is really like it shaped me so much. It shaped how I am as a mom, because of course, like there's stuff where you look back on your childhood and you're like, oh well, I really wish that this part was different, or this could have been better, or at least me 5 years ago had all of these thoughts of like, man, like, this part would have been so much better. But as a mom now, I'm very much so appreciating.
Of course.
And
you never really
really
appreciate certain things until you become a mama yourself, right?
Yes. And the field of protection and the tools that she left me and my brother with are just, you can't really trade them, because there's so much deception, especially in the world of healing.
Yeah. So you've called yourself a vessel for healing. Tell us more about that. It seems like it comes through song, through a lot of different things that you do. So tell us more about how you're a vessel for healing.
It is my highest intention to be truthful, and especially because I know that all things are connected. And everything at the end of the day is whatever you want to call it. It's the same source energy. Okay. There is a calling on my heart for seeing people embody their visions of holistic freedom. And so one of the ways that, I thought originally it was going to be I'm going to have a record label and I'm going to be doing all these things. And then that shift in my life was like, no, it's not really jiving at all anymore. It's really like channeling the best, highest, and truest, the wisest version of myself. And that's my goal every day. And so that's like me being the vessel for that. And then healing is like perfume. And that's how I process that.
So you talk a lot about thriving.
Yeah.
What does it mean to thrive, especially as a Black mama?
I was thinking, the word holistic freedom came up. And I was also reflecting on flexibility. And when it comes to thriving as a Black mama, I honestly feel like it's not in actual practice. Of course, cultural differences and all sorts of things we could talk about in terms of society, but it's not a whole lot different from thriving as anybody else that happens to also be a mama. And for thriving, in my mind, when I say holistic freedom, I'm feeling that it really takes a looking over, like with the word self-respect. Respect comes from like different root words: spectare, to see, to look again, to look over yourself again, to look over this new chapter of life and really reflect on, what do I need? What do I love? What am I called to? How can I find that meeting place? And when that meeting place between those three is found, then I feel like that is what I would say is your thrive zone. And if it's not up in there, then maybe you're getting by, maybe you're grinding it out, maybe you're hustling it out, whatever it is, but you're not quite thriving until you've thoroughly looked over who you've become and really allowed for yourself a window of space to consider, what does freedom in all aspects and areas of your life, what could that look like for you now? Wiping the slate clean. So that's when I think of thriving as a Black mom, it comes through that lens of questioning again, looking again, maybe activating that inner child again, maybe just allowing for an expansion into considering, what does holistic health look like in my life where I'm actually thriving? What does my passions, what does service to the world look like in a space where I'm actually thriving? What does my playtime look like when I'm actually thriving? And redefining, rewriting those, like that boundary of your thrive zone, and starting bit by bit in little moments. Even sometimes it's just like a 5 to 15 minute break, that's enough, and then it just opened that window, and then you feel more you, and you feel like you've tapped into that energy of what it really means for you to thrive. That looks completely different from what it means for me to thrive, or for another mom, another Black mama, another whoever, another being to thrive.
You know, it's so interesting. I'm part of a lot of different communities, but, you know, a lot of my communities are not in the U.S., and a lot of my communities are living in places where there's a lot of external, environmental, and external factors that prevent them from thriving, where they're constantly in fight or flight, just survival mode. And I think a lot about like does the threat, does the violence, does the being in survival mode have to disappear before you can thrive? Or can you thrive when you're in these environments that a lot of it is beyond your control, right? So that I would love for you to speak on that, because that's where my question comes from. Like, it's like telling somebody to heal when they're still in the trauma, right? Like,
Yeah.
do they need to move on from the trauma to be able to start their healing journey, or can they do certain things that allow them to heal, to thrive when they're still in the thick of it, right?
Yeah, when the walls are coming in and the sky's falling and
Literally.
trying to walk on high poles and swerve. Oh my gosh!
How do you find those moments of healing or of thriving?
Yes.
And can you?
I think that part of thriving is doing it in the mess and the thick of it. Because in thriving, 9 times out of 10, we'll say, and I'm just throwing out arbitrary thing. I am not a statistician like that. But using that phrasing, if it's like, most of the time when you're reflecting on what it takes to find your joy or to thrive or to really be in that, there has to be a reckoning moment of, that's not here right now. It's not, it doesn't seem accessible to me. It's not the story that's been playing, and it's not what these circumstances are reflecting. So in those moments, it's so important to have and to honor time before the babies, before the partner wakes up, just to tap in and find that overflow somehow, so that overflow can pour in without tipping your cup every time, metaphorically speaking. So in my mind, I have to make this into a daily routine. It has to be something that's systematized. And when I say systematized, I do not mean you have to have your checklist and you have to do all of the things, but it's just really like, okay, even if it's just 5 minutes that I've taken to check in with myself and see, like, okay, what is it that would be in my thrive zone? What is something that I would love to experience, that I'm also like truly needing more of in my life, and that I'm feeling called to in my spirit and I have the capacity for, so I'm not gonna like dip into depletion when I'm trying to replenish. And especially because most of the times it is in those messy moments when you're like, you know what, I'm going to have this meditation routine. It's happening. I started already. And then the next day happens. And then it's like, baby's crying, all this stuff. Oh my gosh, this thing on the calendar that I didn't even, how did I miss that? It's like all of these things that will happen.
Life coming at you.
Life challenges will happen in a cyclical fashion. And to expect that for some reason it's just going to be this sunshine and rainbows and thriving just means that it's perfect in this cliche way of birds are singing and I'm like barefoot running through the fields able to really like tap in and now I'm the Buddha. I was like, whatever it is. It's not that. It's just you have to wipe all of that away, all of the layers of identity, of mom, of healer, of creative, of the person making the things happen, and really just strip back to tapping in, starting with being the truth of who you are energetically. So even if you can't quite reach it, just coming into gratitude for breath. Something.
Yeah, almost like how do you find small ways to fill your cup? Like put the oxygen mask on first, right? Before you attend to anything else. And anchoring, maybe, just feeling some sense of anchoring in your body.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Like a break. Give yourself a break. I can't thrive when I'm constantly on this hamster wheel of tending to
everybody's needs except yourself. Yeah.
And that's how marriages can easily crumble. And that's how the strength of the home is now like wonky, and now every little thing is a trigger. It can so easily slip into that as soon as we forget that we are the ones that are here to save us. And we are the ones that can. And sometimes it just takes a breath, a pause to check in with what, like, even if I literally, like, there was a point in my mom's healing journey where she could not walk, she could not talk, she could not move other than like blinking her eyes. And so even if I literally cannot do any of the things that are in my thrive zone to do as it seems, what is something I have access to now? And for her, it was singing to herself in her mind. And so that's something that lights her up. She does not call herself a psycho, okay? But it's just something, anything. It's something that she needed because she needed to affirm health in her journey. It's something that she loved. She loved the good feelings of just experiencing that, and it's something that she was called to. It was ripe. Like, you have this tree of all these fruits, and it's the tree of yes. And when you grab the fruit, it's like you pick the one that's like the ripe one, and you're like, oh my gosh, that one looks so good. And you take it down, and then you're like, oh, it's the best. Yes, it's just tapping into that. Few moments is enough, and then you remember, and then something else opens up, like those pathway stones lighting up along the way.
I love that. Almost like taking one small step will lead to that next small step, right?
Every time.
It doesn't have to be so big or so, I'm going to go and I'm going to thrive all of a sudden,
I'm thriving right now.
Yeah. So what is the role of movement, of food, of song even? How does that play into the way you thrive? I'd love to know about those, especially because your voice, I don't know if we're going to get to hear it, but I could just tell everybody how beautiful and magical your voice is.
I think of it through a lens that I call like the Freedom 5.
Tell us about that.
So with the Freedom 5, it's like 5 things that I do on a daily basis, that anyone can do on a daily basis, just to come into more alignment with your own vision of what freedom looks like in health for you or your life for you. And so when it comes to movement, that's a piece of it. So it's a be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine. And it's like 5 simple things. It's like for how I incorporate it. So let's say for B, it could be a moment of, even before I put my feet to the ground in the morning, just acknowledging my own spirit and the fact that I am not just in my body is also in me. And I am the same one that flows through all things. And just an acknowledgement, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, cool, that's how my lens is. So acknowledging a truth that is true always, now. And there you go. That's B. I mean, to some people, affirmations, it's whatever comes up and is right for you in that moment. So it could be journaling one day or whatever it is.
Or a moment of gratitude that you're just even here,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That you get another day.
Yes. Yes. And cleanse, it could be as simple as drinking water. It could be as simple as having a cup of tea of something that was healing for you that you low-key needed. Maybe you needed that Tulsi and rose just to get a little grounding to help balance the hormones, whatever you needed. And it was also something that you low-key loved. So fuel is stuff that fuels your spirit, that fills your cup, and that nourishes you. So it can be the nutrition. It can be the, hey, I had that opportunity to, it was a choice between the pizza from the place or the pizza that I made at home with no additives in the ingredients. Pow. So it's like really finding those moments. It's also kind of tapping into creativity a little bit in your way. So whatever fills your cup, for some people it's like, when I get in my garden, it's the best. And I just feel everything. I'm cleansing, I'm grounding through my feet. I'm connected with spirit, with source. I'm connected with all the things that matter. And I'm also like, maybe I'm eating a little fruit on my I don't know, So it's finding the pockets in your life where you can incorporate more things that make you feel more like you. Yeah. And then, of course, movement and shine we can get into that.
Yeah. So movement is movement, like incorporating movement however we can. And what is shine?
Shine is an acronym, and it's for sharing, honest, insightful, and nourishing expressions. So no strings attached is a core kind of like ground rule for shine. So if you're giving and you're expecting it to be kind of like a loan, don't do it. That's not shine. That's just it's just kind of operating in the same paradigm that made you feel bound in the first place. So shining is about pouring back into your community and your friends and family network as well. So because one big thing is like, I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes on the healing journey, you can feel a little alone.
Totally. Yeah.
Or if you're like the truth and freedom seeker that's a little bit more out there in your family or in your community, then it's important to share honestly what is true for you, and you will be amazed to find that the person that you thought you couldn't quite reach happens to also have a similar wavelength. You've met them. You've met each other in just you having the courage to share that one piece of your journey. Or just to be like, maybe you're not even sharing a piece of your journey, but maybe instead it's that you're showing appreciation. No strings attached. I love you. Thank you for being in my life.
I love the community aspect, which feels so much part of your journey and what you do. I feel like community is also a big part of thriving,
Yes.
right? Feeling like you can healing and thriving, right? Both of them. Like we grow, we heal, we thrive in relationship to each other.
Yes.
I'd love for you to talk more about that, how community comes into your life to help you thrive.
Community is so interesting because it's one of those things where if you're like me, then you probably grew up in a space where it's there, and there's people all around that are like, I just let me know what you need. Let me know I'm there, okay? Or on the other hand, it might feel like a little bit of a isolation where you could be surrounded by community, whether it's the family, the friends, everyone's around, but there is like certain things that aren't discussed, or there's certain things that
you feel
I can
alone.
I can know this part of you, but I can't know you.
Yeah.
Not here, at least. Only maybe one-on-one, maybe. So how to build and really nourish community is something that I'm still kind of processing in my life, because my experience has been being surrounded by so much support, and also feeling almost like it's a burden that I would be placing on others if I were to share in a way that I am the receiver. So intentionally breaking that pattern has been my my path this year. It's been to find a way to reach through that that wall again, in a more meaningful way.
Do you think it's because we're socialized to like not ask for what we need, or feel like a burden if we ask for what we need, or expected maybe to do everything on our own in these like very hyper individual, hyper capitalist societies, right?
I think that the narrative is that I have told myself, and that it's like you tell yourself in your mind that you have to have this level of independence, that you need to be self-sustainable. And it's great. It's so good and so fulfilling to be able to do that. However, it has an expiration date.
Yeah, like a limit.
It hasn't, it
A
has
limit
a
of
limit.
how much you can just do on your own. And truthfully, like nothing great happens just on your own. Like everybody has, great things happen when more people come in and help those things happen.
Yes, I've been intentional about, when reaching out in community and building community, what is in my Thrive Zone? What is in your Thrive Zone? What is in our Thrive Zone together? And how can we be in spaces and just give more life into that meeting place, our collective Thrive Zone? Because as much as I thought that I could have the place outside of all of society with the not even solar panels, but it's just like all of the ways of self-sustainability out in nature and seclusion, off the grid. Yes, and just completely self-sustaining outside of all of these systems of control. There is a loneliness in the original conditioned vision that I had for my life that just was very seeming on the surface fine, but dry. It was not. It wasn't truly what my spirit was needing. And so I don't know if you've come across, there's like this this concept of collectively sustainable. So there's this whole movement in Georgia, and they are there's one person who's a homesteader and he has a farm, and they, build community through bartering or whatnot, but it's just really no strings attached. I'm honoring you with this piece that I happen to be gifted at and that I would love to give. And it happens to be what you need and that you'd love to receive. And so that's how it used to be.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
And so it's really just getting back to that true community. That is where my focus is.
And a real exchange, right? Like being in relationship with people with a true reciprocity, true mutually beneficial and mutually, like nobody's trying to exploit the other, nobody's trying to dominate the other. There's true value from both parties coming together. I'm adding value to your life and you're adding value to my life. And
yes.
Right?
And seeing that there is, like, each one has that equal level of worth inherently. And everyone has something that can be just such the gift to someone else, but it has to be done away with just it being transactional, and it coming down into a level of, let me get to know what is in your thrive zone. Who are you? And what are you? What would you like? What is the richness of your world what are the gaps? How can I help? Really having those deeper conversations, I feel like is a space where it's just lacking.
And I feel so many people are in the kind of survive or in the like hamster wheel that they never really get to, like, what do I want?
Yeah, because you work in like 2-3 jobs. Like, you have kids, you have a spouse. It's like all these different layers.
Yeah, so how do we tap into, and maybe it is just like starting with a daily ritual every day where you just tap into, what do I want? Who am I?
Maybe.
Right? How do we reclaim the sacredness of our bodies, especially as the world tries to disconnect us from our bodies? Especially, I feel, as women, right?
How do you reclaim the sacredness of your body? It's so different for everyone. But I do feel like it comes down to a few central themes that may apply across the board. There's a lot of layers because there's also shame, because a lot of women also go through past traumas physically, and so a disconnection, a disassociation from feeling some things, and also from certain movements will just unlock things and they will come. And so one of the pathways that I kind of came to that for me was through my practice of Kemetic yoga. And Kemetic yoga, are you familiar with Kemetic yoga?
Like Queen Afua talks about a lot of those practices, right?
She has she does a like Kemetic yoga dance and things. I am familiar personally with more deeply the work of my master teacher, Yasira Hotep. And he and another amazing being, around the same time, they, like, one person in the continent of Africa and one person in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Like, we're formulating and going back through the hieroglyphs and noticing that there were all these different themes and postures, and beginning to really decode healing through the body, through movement, through yoga. And they called it Kemetic yoga. Kemetic, ancient Egyptian.
Yeah, I'm born in Egypt, so.
Ancient Egyptian, ancient African. Kemet was really like all over, not just Egypt, all over Africa, not just Africa, all over the world. And so it's ancient union, and yoga meaning union, like that unity. And so that was one of the practices that really started me getting deeper in my healing journey personally. And it allowed for me to remember that I'm connected. Remember that I have power in me, because you can feel it. It's energy circulation through your body as you're breathing. It's like all the styles of yoga, but just like taking the pieces, and it's so it's, for me, it's like a remembrance of the simple ways movement can be healing, and feeling that in real time, a way that you can't question it because it's happening.
Yeah, it's like such a visceral, it's a visceral experience that awakens like a wisdom that's in your body, right? Like a...
It can.
Yeah.
It can.
A remembrance.
It can. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like when you slow down sometimes it does take a slower movement to, like outside of a class, when the instructor's going in a yoga class or even a dance class or whatever the class is. It's a class, and you're following the instructor, and they say, oh, make it your own. It's your own practice. And then you're like, but I gotta also keep up with you. And it's like, not really.
Yeah.
But I had the privilege of being able to learn Kemetic yoga and practice it while also on a raw food fast and in the hot sun of Jamaica. And, everything, just your water was coconut water from the coconut. And it's just like this level of being able to really savor the moments and savor the movements and notice. I feel like that is what really unlocks.
The noticing.
The noticing. That unlocks it, so that you can begin that body healing through movement. Yeah. No matter what the movement is.
What's your prayer for those wishing to live more in alignment and to feel more nourished and really root into community? What's your prayer for all those people that are desiring to live more in their thrive zone?
The word reminded comes up, so that their spirit just, reminds them and encourages them to have the courage to look again and put that looking into action, even if it's 5 minutes, to just have that window opening of remembrance, and that it's received, and that they can just remember that they don't have to embody, and that they should not try to embody somebody else's idea of what freedom is. Remembrance that they are still worthy, still connected, still every bit of what it takes, still able to birth that vision in their lives, still able. Now, even having gone through whatever they have, however you are now, that you're still ripe for this. Yeah.
Beautiful. And what is the world that you're dreaming into being through Ufulu Child?
Freedom.
Because, here's the thing. We talk a lot about freedom in this country. But the freedom we talk about in this country is not really the freedom that you're talking about.
It's not. The dream, that what I'm dreaming up for Ufulu Child is the coming together of all the things. So the coming together of these collectively sustainable pockets all over the world where people are really nurturing and growing that true community. And everyone in that community is, supporting truth. Even no matter how ugly it may be, how messy it may be, how disorienting truth may be, having the courage to and empowering each other to pursue true healing and holistic health, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, true alignment when it comes to how you're moving in the world, when it comes to your passion, your career, however you're spending your time, bringing that bit by bit into your own alignment. The next natural step would just be having more of these local events and more of these virtual events where we can continue to connect with the truth and freedom seeking people that are holistic minded and that see the value in honoring that call inside again and again and again.
It's so interesting you bring up truth and freedom, and I feel like those two things are so misinterpreted in this culture, right, in the society. Like, when you're talking about truth, I know what truth you're talking about, but it's not the truth that...
It's not. So,
and freedom too, Like, even defining what you mean by truth and what you mean by freedom, I think would be really powerful.
Yes. So when I say truth, it's there's two different ways I think about it. One way is truth that is true always, and so through my practice of Kemetic yoga, there's learning about universal laws that used to be honored and followed in ancient times of all is mind, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, and so on and so on, polarity. Everything has its rhythm, everything. And really honoring the cycles and honoring that. And things that fall outside of alignment with that, okay, we got to bring that back into alignment. And then whenever the other lens of truth, how I think through it is through the lens of, okay, so we know that in the media there's a lot of lies about the helpfulness of certain products when it comes to healing versus perpetuating the same disease or chronic condition. But there's so much that we would have to unlearn in order to peel back the layers and really get to, say, healing or get to a true history of even humankind. There's so many layers, but for me, truth is, okay, so what actually happened? What actually happened beyond how I feel like it should have happened, or also beyond beyond any sort of falsehoods, illusions, or deceptions, what is actually the fact.
It's almost like when you strip away all that stuff, it's what remains. It's like the essence.
So there's the spiritual, that, and then there's also the, okay, but those symptoms are coming. You see these same symptoms on this package insert for that additive. I'm just saying. But, so, yeah.
Awesome. And then freedom is?
The allowance of yourself and others to activate that true care, love, like really getting down into, like, you, in order to be free, you have to start with love. And that could just simply be an appreciation for, an acknowledgement of, an allowing of something. And then it has to move into an understanding of it, a deep, okay, what is really happening underneath the surface? How can, let's see what it is all about. And then once you have that understanding, there's a certain order that comes. And from that, we have this thing of freedom. And we can do and we can be however we choose, as long as we're not violating the truths that are true always. There are the universal laws that you see the fruits when they're violated. There's destruction, there's disease, there's all of this anxiety and depression, there's all of this poverty, there's all of this stuff happening, and control and slavery. But when there's freedom, there cannot be the perpetuation of fear or the perpetuation of control over another, or the perpetuation of just, let me just drum up chaos and just, everyone free for all, but without any sort of true understanding of, hey, maybe we shouldn't be stealing from each other. Or, hey, maybe we shouldn't be coercing someone, and if you don't do this thing, then all of a sudden you are in behind some sort of cage and some sort of bars. Okay. That is not freedom, that's control. You can't get to freedom from those things. Like, you can't get to slavery from these things of the love, the understanding, the order, we're here with you, and
Yep. Let's get into song, and how song is such a powerful tool for liberation, for freedom. And we all know, a lot of us love song and sound, but I think just using sound as a tool for liberation and freedom is quite, it's like a whole other level, right? It's not just like enjoying that beat, but how does that song move through me, and create expansion, where I can thrive, right?
Yeah.
And your voice is just so, it is that.
Thank you. Song is my jam. It's so good. It was like one of the original healers, because some things you can't really say, but you can say it through a playlist. You can say it through a song. Of course, there are songs, there are you can write lyrics. They don't even have to be written. It can just be something that you're just singing out of nowhere. It can be not even singing. It can be spoken. It can be rap lyrics. It can be whatever. And so when I think of song, I think of what it truly is for me, like under the layer. It's an embodiment. It's like I'm tapping into an energy. And the energy that I'm tapping into is what you hear coming out. So song is an expression. Song is a whole body experience. Song is... It's also allowing for the silliness to come up and the inner child just to be activated and to play. Song is, to me, like a portal, like a opening to a deeper alignment. Like it can shift, it can change the energy.
What's the role of play in all of this?
The role of play, in my opinion, is to, for no reason other than just because you would like, to come back into the things that make you feel free, that you just love. It's just dropping back into giving a hug to that inner child that was like, down the line, we forgot. We forgot what it meant and what it took to continue to pour back into ourselves in this way. And by me doing this, I'm showing you that I don't want to forget you again, and that I'm here with you, and that this matters to me because I'm putting the energy, I'm putting the time, I'm putting drops in that bucket, girl. Myself, talking to me, right? And so just allowing for a harmony of all parts of you, and without the expectations, without the burden, without the just being. I grew up in a household that was very musical. My dad, he came to the States when he was like 18, and he had his own radio show, and he brought reggae music to Houston. And so every day there would be music in the house, and music when we're cleaning, and music when we're just, doing whatever. We'd all have our own personal music that we would listen to, and that we would listen to at every family gathering. There would be dance, there would be music, there would be all of this happening all the time. And it became a way with my surprisingly introverted self, where I would be able to express how I felt. And so I would just start to, you'd sing along to the radio or things like that. But I came across this video, and then from the video I had some conversations with my parents about like the power of sound, and they were talking about, well, everything's energy and it's all frequency, and so you can, just like how you can tap into a certain mood with a certain, and you put on a certain song and you feel happy, you put on a certain song, you're like, man, oh my gosh, it just happens that way. And sometimes when you sing a song, it's like this whole other level of embodiment, and it's like you're back in that moment again, or it can be like that, and have that space and distance between it. But it showed me an opening way of how music and sound can be healing. And then from there I went down a rabbit hole and came across things like sound healing, sound therapy, and the fact that certain sounds correspond to different emotions and different organs and different, like your tissues, growing bones, like different aspects of healing. I got really fascinated with sound. and for me, I look through healing and sound through a lens of, hey, if I'm going to put this out into the world, I would love for it to be something that is also doing good underneath the surface. So, you've heard of like 432 hertz frequencies and things like that, and you can embed it.
I love how this reconnects to like your mom's healing story, and how like
everything comes full circle. It's pretty cool.
Right? Like just even how she healed herself by singing to herself, even though her body wasn't working. Like the power of that for me is like, whew. Wow.
Yes.
Like it's almost like believing in yourself is kind of half the battle, right? Like just
Yes. It really is. It
like
really
believing you're going to get well, believing you're going to heal through this, believing is so powerful.
Yes.
And just being able to speak through song, through chanting to your cells and make them believe that you're going to be well as well, right? Like there's such power. We don't think about like all our bodies listening to everything, right?
Having, like, finding the pockets of freedom and healing and then just saturating yourself with as much as you can, just surrounding yourself with it is so helpful. But yeah, so there is power in the vibration of sound, and there's power in the intention behind the things that you speak, the things that you think, the things that you sing. And so I would love to share a little piece of it's one of the songs that I wrote in a it was in a time where I had a lot of healing that I was doing myself, financially healing in terms of like having carried so much shame and trying to kind of break out from a stuckness within myself, not quite feeling whole yet, but also knowing that I need to affirm, I need to speak the good things, I need to, uplift myself and others through what I'm saying and singing. So that's kind of where this is coming from. It came from a space of being in between the worlds of not quite thriving in terms of fully embodying and walking in the 3D of my experience, but having that vision in my mind and my heart, and also the walls feeling like they're caving in and not quite knowing how to fully make sense of all of the pieces of healing and things that I've gained. Integration. So it's called Don't Run Away from Your Light. And because my spirit said so, I would just invite everyone just to kind of plant your feet on the floor and just take a deep breath and allow for yourself to just soften in your shoulders, release your lower back, and just breathe however you feel called to breathe. If you have any sort of practice energetically of protecting your space or healing yourself in that way, then feel free to drop into that as well, just so that you feel safe, you feel nourished, you feel held. Free, 'cause we're not here looking for permission to be. Fly, glide through the sky like a ribbon in the sky. If you breathe, let the universe regulate your rhythm, baby. You will find a better way to play the card you were given, baby. And then you'll shine, strengthen your faith, and when you shine, don't run away. Stay, 'cause you came to get it done. Never waver, baby. Fight the pain, 'cause in life we intensify the flavor, baby. And all that hate won't dignify the meeting with your maker, maybe. If you ground your faith in your essence being present with your nature, how long is it gonna take you? Make you move, and then you'll shine. Strengthen your faith, and when you shine, don't run away from your light. Deep breath.
Oh
deep
my
breath.
goodness, Tenci, like I have tears in my eyes. Your voice, like literally speaks to every cell in my body. It's like your voice is joy. Your voice is joy. It's just so moving. Oh.
Deep breath. Let it flow through. Let it flow through.
Oh,
My hands
so
are
beautiful.
tingling.
You're
I
just
feel
such
energy.
a beautiful human. Thank you, Tenci. Really. So beautiful.
Thank you.
You're so beautiful.
Likewise. This wouldn't even be a thing if you hadn't dreamed up something.
Thank you. If you enjoyed this conversation, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. You can connect with Into Healing on TikTok and Instagram for more inspirational and behind-the-scenes content, and visit our website, intohealing.com, for transcripts and other goodies. Thank you for joining us.